Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tales of Berseria. I am Wishblade, and in this chest we find gold. Beautiful, delicious gold. Now where the heck am I going? This way, clearly. Also, I know there was a sparkly there. Now I have picked it up, and everyone is happy. Also cat spirits, because why not? Just a few more things to acquire, and then we can move on and go to the inn and maybe start reading in our book and learn a thing or two about who we're dealing with and what we must do to destroy them for good. Instead of failing hard at the Empyrean's throne. Well, maybe not failing hard, but we definitely did fail at something. I don't know. Chest? No, we didn't fail at chest. No, amphibole fragment. I like it. Now, that should be about everything. So, we can now go to the inn and go to sleep. Well, we can rest at the inn, and eventually, after doing things, we will be sleeping.
We could use a place to stay. Any rooms open?
Yep. Just finished cleaning, in fact. You can help yourself to that room there.
All right, time to start deciphering this scroll.
Let's wait somewhere outside so Grim can concentrate.
Do you think maybe I could stay and watch? I really do want to study the ancient tongue. I promise I'll be quiet and not get in your way, teacher.
What did you just say, child?
That I'd be quiet and...
No, what did you call me?
Teacher? You said you didn't want to be called ma'am, so I thought maybe that'd work.
Yes, satisfactory. All right, I'll teach you how to read Ancient Avarost.
Thank you so much, teacher!
We'll leave you two alone then. Let us know if anything comes up.
So goddamn adorable is what he is. Oh look, there are people all around. And our party members also around. There's so many things to do now.
Do you plan on just giving up? Palamedes is Amenoch's temple. The priestess isn't the only one whose job it is to protect that temple. It's the duty of everyone born in this village.
Why did the Abbey need Amenoch's temple badly enough to risk causing this much unrest?
But how will we protect our village from the demons if the Abbey abandons us? Besides, we won't be able to do business with the people of Isolt anymore.
Our faith in Amenoch has nothing to do with the demons. When the priestess gets back, I'm going with her to protest.
The demon blight changed everything. Will we never be able to return to the way things were?
The way things were.
Well, maybe you won't, but I'd blame the Abbey for that. Also, another thing I really like about this game, and I'll try not to go entirely overboard. Also, Merchant, I should deal with that eventually. But the whole thing that there's so many points where you just have these moments of party members all over the place, and you can just talk to them because we're waiting for something to happen or whatever. It's nice. You get to talk with your party members. It's so wonderful and gorgeous.
Listen, I don't know what they told you in Isolt, but our village has its own traditions. This village is under the divine protection of the Empyrean Amenoch. For unbroken centuries, a line of his priestesses have guided us. They're tasked with performing the sacred rites of worship. And sometimes, they even deliver us his words and will.
And there's still a priestess today?
Of course. And her daughter is training to become our next priestess. Although, I sometimes feel they push themselves too hard. Both mother and daughter are giving their all for Haria. But the Abbey doesn't care about any of that. And they stole our temple from us.
By force?
An exorcist named Teresa came and heard us out. But from the very beginning, she always intended on taking our temple. Her words may have been kind, but that doesn't change the fact that she demanded that we worship her god, Inominat. In all the years we've worshipped Amenoch, not once did we ever try to force others to adopt our beliefs.
Why haven't I seen this priestess she's talking about?
I don't know, maybe the priestess is off somewhere. Maybe she's at the temple. Who knows? Also, Teresa, thou art a bitch, is what you are. Rokro, you aren't a bitch.
So she digs being called teacher. Well played, Laphicet.
She wasn't so fond of ma'am, so I guess he figured he needed an alternative.
You can tell how badly he wanted to help her with the languagey work. I think our Malak boy's finally finding himself.
So it would seem.
And it is so cute is what it is. Don't you think so, Eleanor?
What connection do you think there is between the violent demon Teresa mentioned and this village?
Couldn't tell you.
Could there have been a demon blight breakout here? This village doesn't look like it's been attacked, but...
Whatever it is. If it keeps the Abbey's eyes off us for once, that's good enough for me.
You really will use anything and everything towards your own aims, won't you?
Yep, and that includes you. As I'm sure you've noticed.
And that's just Velvet for you. She will use anything in order to get her revenge because she cares so much. She cares so goddamn much is what she does. It's a good quality, but also can lead to, kinda meh things because, well, stuff. Now what the heck? What the heck? Oh my god! What are you doing, little crap? Oh my god, little crap! Look at the little crap! What is it doing? I don't know. Eisen, explain this to me!
It sounds like deciphering the text might take some time.
We should be prepared to wait it out here a while. Hopefully it'll all be worth it in the end.
I hope so too. But ancient Avarost is complex. It's not just a matter of knowing the grammar and vocabulary.
Oh? Then how exactly do you read it?
I'm not sure about the specifics myself, but from what I understand, you kind of have to intuit a lot of it.
A language based on guesswork? Thanks, old dead people. You're officially the worst.
That you are! My goodness, and I don't know why I'm so very enthused by a crab. And other things. I just don't know. Also, okay, bien fou.
Banning local religions. The Abbey sure knows how to oppress the populace.
I'd imagine that comes part and parcel with spreading the good word. Other gods would only get in the way.
From what we overheard, it sounds like they've taken over Amenoch's temple, Palamedes, to use as their base of operations.
Sealing it off would be provocative enough, but straight up taking it over? Not a lot of so-called reason to that. Unless... Do you think they need it for some other purpose?
Shrug.
Oh, ancient Avarost. You have the obstinacy of a spurned lover who refuses to move on.
Even for you, teacher?
It's this one crucial line. I can't wrap my head around it.
Well, from what you've taught me so far, it looks like it says... Saw, Popo, Mucho, Sanchon.
Correct, but if you merely translate it word for word, it ends up saying, the parent hates tomatoes, the child eggplants.
I doubt those have much to do with Innominat. Yeah.
Their grammar is nothing like ours. Sometimes you have to reorder the words, and even then the meaning can require leaps of logic and flashes of intuition.
Reordering? So like... San-san, Pocho Pocho, Pocho Musan, Pocho Musan. Can you read it that way?
Pocho Musan. Now where did you get that from?
These words are lined up, like they repeat. And when I read this part that same way, it just felt right.
Pocho Musan. If that's repeated here, then the passage turns into... the Nameless Empyrean.
Empyrean!
Ho ho, that has to refer to Innominat. I think we're on to something. Alright, so if we apply this rule here, then... It would seem to be a book of children's counting songs.
It's not about Innominat?
What matters is what the song says, child. And I think you will be very interested in the words.
My goodness!
I wonder if they've made any progress yet.
Shall we go check on them?
Yes, because they cliff-hung us! Or whatever word you'd... cliff... I don't know. It was a cliffhanger is what it was. Now let's go hear them out. People, tell me. Also, yeah, you don't have an in name right now with any summon spirits or the like, so hello!
Well, any results?
Yes. Well, thanks to the boy here. As it turns out, he has quite the knack for languages.
Only because I've got the best teacher.
Careful, honey tongue. You'll give this old girl ideas.
Huh?
Now, child, I'm sure they're curious about the song we unearthed. Why don't you read it aloud?
Yes, teacher.
Song?
8-headed is the lord of the land, with 7 mouths to devour malevolence. Through pulses of earth doth base nature's flow, as he awaits the time of awakening. 4 Empyreans may tear him asunder, but so long as there is one receptive to divine power, Therians shall be forever reborn, in sight of the full crimson moon. The nameless Empyrean hath one heart. The nameless Empyrean hath one body.
Therians?
Essentially, this ancient text you found is an annotated volume of drawings and songs pertaining to Innominat.
Annotated? Then hurry up and just tell us what it means.
I'm sorry. So far, we've only figured out how to read the song lyrics.
All right.
I take it we're still in for a good long wait before it's thoroughly decrypted.
Likely so, but if we want to find out what the Abbey is up to, we need to know what's in this book, no matter how long it takes.
What the Abbey's up to, is it?
I think we can learn much, even from the lyrics alone. The drawings depict him with 8 heads. One of them belongs to his main body, but the other 7 are his mouths. Those mouths consume malevolence, sending it along earth pulses back to that main body so he can awaken. The 7 monsters fitting that description are called
Therians.
Right. Now as for this malevolence, I have no idea what that means.
What about the second part?
I haven't studied much ancient history, but it said this world was created by 4 Empyreans: earth, water, wind, and fire. But they also call Innominat an Empyrean. Perhaps a war broke out between Innominat and the other Empyreans that resulted in him being sealed away.
But if there is someone to connect with this divine power, the Therians will keep spawning. And just like that, Innominat will be revived. If we assume that Shepherd Artorius fits that bill, and that he's trying to reawaken Innominat, everything lines up.
Which means our job is to find these Therians and cut off Innominat's heads, so to speak.
But where do we even start looking for them?
Remember, the song states that the Therians in Innominat's body are connected through earth pulses. If their job is to feed Innominat, the most effective place to position them would be at the earth pulse points.
Points?
The places where the power of earth pulses is concentrated.
Places with that sigil. Hey, remember the barrier that was keeping this bug in the forest? Wait, are you trying to say that thing's a Therian? And yet, it would explain why the Abbey was keeping it locked up. And there was that same barrier at the villa, too.
That's right. Do you suppose that was also a Therian? Does that mean the Therians all come in different forms?
Should we go to Logres and check?
We've just started deciphering the book. I'd hate to lose time on some fool's errand. I'd rather know at least a little more about what's in it before we make a move.
Something bothering you, Grim?
This line. The one about Therians being forever reborn.
I just felt the same thing as I did in Warg Forest.
The needle's pointing in the direction of Amenoch's temple, Palamedes. Do I recall hearing that the Abbey took that over?
Temples and ritual sites are often built on places thought to be rich in spiritual energy. Could the temple possibly be an Earth Pulse point?
There's lots of Earth Pulse points scattered all over the world. If there's only 7 Therians, most of them will be empty.
It's not like we have any better leads. If there's even a chance, shouldn't we go check it out?
Better than sitting around waiting on the book. If nothing else, we'll find out what Laphicet is sensing.
Just a theory, but if you were to kill a Therian...
What?
I guess there's only one way to find out. Never mind. Good luck out there.
And so, we have gotten ourselves an objective. Also, expedition is also something we have. And nothing majorly important. So, onwards, yet again. And then we shall go outside is what we shall. Right here. Yoo-hoo! How you doing, people? Also, a shop. Belforma. I can't remember what reference that would be. Belforma. Whatever. Either way, we apparently need to go find Therians because Therians are trapped in those sealed places like the Bug and the Griffin and Velvet in Titania. And then we need to not have them eat Malevolence, whatever that might be, so that Innominat gains power. I like it! We have something we can do, hopefully, possibly, if that's what is true with the texts and everything. But either way, I will do some shopping now. And voila! I did a thing, but I didn't really change anyone's equipment, so I can have a quick look at it later, but not right now. And I got to level 6 in the stores, and I think this was my reward. I clicked very fast through it, but I think this was the thing. If a character has learned a derivative active art, you can perform it by pressing and holding the Mystic Art button during the casting delay. When it can be used, its name will blah 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 blah. So I think that is basically the thing over here. Yep. Now you can also do things with your spells. And I can't exactly remember how you properly do it. It's like, yeah, I don't know, you cast a spell, then while you're casting the thing, and you're delayed, you can't do anything because you're in the midst of casting, then you hold down the Mystic Art button, and then it goes on to another thing? Potentially, something along those lines? I can't remember. I can try it, I suppose. I suppose I can give it a try. Eleanor, there you go, you can go back over there, because why the heck not? And, what else we got? I got an Amphibole Spear, Talisman, Ribbon, Fluoric Paper, and Fatigue Ward. And people are looking like so, and there you go. So, let us be moving on, shall we? We have things we must do. We must go over this way. Hello there, person.
Who are you?
The innkeeper's daughter. I happened to overhear you all talking about going to Palamedes and...
Did you report us to the Abbey?
Report? But you already have an exorcist with you.
If you have any business, talk with her then.
I'm Eleanor Hume, an exorcist with the Abbey. How might I be of service? I want you to look for someone. A mother and her child went to visit the Abbey grounds, but they haven't returned.
They've both gone missing?
Yes. The mother's name is Mahina. She's a priestess of Aminoch. And her little daughter's name is Kamoana.
Hold on. If she's a priestess of Aminoch...
Right. Ever since the Abbey booted her out from the temple, she's been regularly going back to make her objections heard. But one day, she never returned home. And now her daughter has disappeared too. I can only assume that she went to go look for her mother.
And you believe they're being held at the temple?
Oh no, ma'am. I just can't imagine Mahina would abandon her daughter like that. Kamoana is next in line to succeed her, so she's had a strict upbringing, but her mother truly loves her. Please forgive Mahina for her protests. I was just hoping you could use the Abbey's resources to track them down.
I will do everything in my power to find them.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Like Kamoana, I grew up with only my mother as family. I can't help but worry for them.
Of course. Let's be off, Miss Exorcist.
So, that's a thing, and this is Manann Reef. Wondrous rock formations. I don't know. They're pretty spectacular, sure, but first and foremost, we want to go back. Because 2 more events have appeared, and we must go and have a look at those events, yes indeed.
Hey! Did you know that in our grandfather's time, Southgand used to be an independent nation? Midgand acted nice with us at first, asking us if we wanted to form a republic. But once they realized that we didn't have a king, they changed their tune and declared war. Well, we got rightly angry and joined together to fight them off. We met the attacking Royal Navy on the high seas.
So there was a naval battle?
Yeah. If we had taken them up on their initial offer, maybe we could have avoided unnecessary death. The war raged for 10 years. By the end of it, both Midgand and Southgand were in tatters. What a waste.
Midgand is much larger and more powerful than Southgand. Why did the war last so long?
Every time Southgand was in danger, a big storm would show up and sink Midgand's fleet. It happened many times. We Southganders started calling these storms Aminoch's Fury, or Aminoch's Divine Wind.
Still, Midgand won, and Southgand was taken over, right?
Yeah, but even the great Midgand was forced to recognize Southgand's demands in the face of Aminoch's Fury. Despite our loss, Midgand didn't interfere in our worship of Aminoch, or lay their hands on our temple.
But now the Abbey has seized Aminoch's temple.
I just hope history doesn't repeat itself.
Well, they're kind of douches, aren't they now? Yes, that's right, that's something they are. But how can Aminoch have divine wind? Aminoch is the Empyrean of water. It doesn't make any sense at all. Now what's going on over here?
This is all your fault for letting your tongue wag.
Those cretins already took our temple away from us. Why did you go and tell them?
I never intended for this to happen, I swear. But they asked me a question, so I couldn't not answer.
You should have just lied to them. Kamoana hasn't been back in days now. This is all your...
So that's what happened.
She asked us to look for them because she felt guilty.
Oh, don't be mean to the little girl. Well, maybe she's not little, but don't be mean to the girl. Man, don't be an asshole, man. I'll be on my way now, man. Because I need to get on with the trek through this entire place, and I will say it right now, I'm not a major fan.
Eleanor, what's your game here?
The mother and daughter, you mean? That's on me. I'll search for them myself.
I don't care about that.
Well, what then?
Why are you actively helping us decipher the book, when we're using it to thwart the Abbey's plans?
You think I might be deliberately misleading you? Laying a trap of some sort for you all?
Are you?
I think you're a lot of things, Demon. But foolish is not one of them. I want to know the truth. I want to know what Lord Artorias is trying to accomplish. And there's something happening in the world right now. I want to know what it is. Unfortunately, little old Eleanor has never been deemed trustworthy enough to be given such information. So,
My only option is to find out for myself.
You've got the soul searching down at least.
The Abbey and your band of rogues follow two different paths, but something tells me either will lead me to the same destination.
And so you don't see any need to lie to us?
Exactly.
And what'll you do if those truths don't line up cleanly with what you believe?
I'm not sure yet.
As honest an answer as any. Either way, it looks like you'll be working with us for the near future.
Yes, for now.
Hey, could I ask you something?
What is it?
About the Therians. I've heard you call yourself a Therian before. Is there any particular insight you have about them?
No, none. Artorias said I was one, that's all.
And that doesn't bother you?
Does it bother you?
Nope, not at all. If you're not worried, then neither am I.
I'm surrounded by freaks. But was that truly the reason Ceres chose me?
Who knows? But all these freaks are our freaks, and we love those freaks. But yeah, if Velvet is supposedly Therian, maybe something stuff, but we don't want her to die or anything like that. I don't want that to happen. What I do want to happen is getting through this place and viewing that skit and everything, obviously. But you know what? I'll do that in the next episode. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, see you later.